the Laine family reunion has been held in. The first person that comes up with the closest number or the correct number is the winner. How many? No. 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 5? No. No. Okay. You can use your book to figure it out. No. How many different cities have the 33 reunions been held in? We've had the reunion 33 times. Out of those 33 times, how many cities were different? I'm going to give it to Vi because she's the closest. 14. It's 14. Can someone tell me the name of the family newsletter? So what, Jen? It's the Laine family link. Somebody already got it over there. What is the family motto? Henry got it first. Okay, we're going to pull a number for a drawing. Number 45.
He's getting away with that. Pull again.
Well, just go find something else over there in the box.
He can't win.
Another drawing, number 18. was elected as president?
President Lucius.
92. Somebody got it over there already. Can someone tell me how many times has the reunion been held in Mississippi? How many? I think it's 5. Hold on a minute. It is 3. Who said 3? She did say 3. Can someone tell me a state in which the reunion has been held only one time? That's one. Missouri and Tennessee. Murray got it. Can someone tell me what year was the 25th reunion in? Okay.
Wait, that book.
that is a cost saving method, so we all gotta look at that. I was surprised to see it this time.
Right, but we had cut it out.
Yeah, that's what I thought, you know, so.
That was a significant cost saving.
Yeah, it's a cost saving method, so we can look at that. We can look at how people prepare to spend, you know, I like a little trinket, that's fine, but you don't have to do that this time. The key thing is fellowship. That's the key, so, you know, like I said, just recap what I said. That's my own personal opinion. I like it every year, even though I can't make it every year. I like moving around the country. That's for each family member to get a chance to take a break, not traveling. This time, hey, I don't have to travel, that's great. You know, so people have a commitment, so that's where I stand.
Well, I mean, it sounds like a general consensus is that we keep rolling this thing every year until we get sufficient numbers. That way we can actually have a more balanced decision on it. Is that what I'm getting?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll just keep on rolling this thing every year because, I mean, we didn't bring it up to, you know. Well, I mean, it's already in the bylaw, so it's really not so much a voting thing. So, I mean, really more so, if we voted to do this thing every other year, we would actually have to vote to change the bylaws as well. So since it's already established in the bylaws, we don't have to make a vote on it.
Well, the minutes will reflect that the issue was raised, there was discussion, and the discussion yielded an affirmation of continuing the process that we have in place. That seems to me a way to, the parliamentarian way to speak to that better than me, but there needs to be an acknowledgement that this conversation happened and what the opinions of the body present weighed in on. And it may be revisited later on. Also, whatever city it is in, the idea of scouting about to see what could be there, you know, because there are hotels like this reunion will never come to New York City.
That's right.
I could hardly afford to live in New York City. So, and if I didn't have a rent stabilized apartment, I wouldn't be there. You know, hotel rooms are $200 a day. You know, so that's ridiculous. So wherever it is, the cost of the hotel and the further out you book it, the better you can do it in terms of cost savings. It may not be as fancy as this hotel, but you know, that can be a consideration, I think, you know, trying to find the venue within the city.
Can I piggyback on that? And that's a good way to communicate. So, for example, the first newsletter out should raise this issue in the newsletter for family members to think about it.
Questionnaire.
That's right. Should think about it. And that's how you get that communication going.
I mean, and that way you can get feedback.
Feedback.
Of what the family.
Yeah. Even post the minutes if you have to.
Right.
Here's the minutes.
Right.
Read it, discuss it. But this is a key point we want to discuss. All right. So y'all want to put on the locations?
Yeah. Suggestions for locations for 2014.
Florida. I would say Florida.
I'm going to be like
Mr. President,
okay.
in all fairness, I love my Florida people. I love you dearly, you all know I love. But in view of current circumstances, and I think we know what those circumstances are, I think we just need to kind of wait and see, because I don't want any of our children to be harmed in Florida.
Oh,
Born and raised in the state of
all right, okay. That's a good one.
I'm not mad at you.
I'm mad at you.
I'm not mad at you.
You know I love you.
Okay,
I love you, Lucius.
remember that year that we was here, and it was terrible. You remember?
Yeah.
Where we had to stay, and it was terrible. We're back here this year.
That's
Okay, so think about Florida's.
Please give
I love
consideration.
I mean, if we pick any major city, we could pick some kind of major injustice, so I don't think that's going to be a very determinant factor for us to boycott a state as a family. I think that's just irrelevant. I mean, if we want to do Florida as a family, we can do Florida.
Brother President, I beg to differ with you on the last remark, because you make one of the
We have to make
most
a
powerful
statement.
statements you can make in the name of an organization that's highly regarded, and the Laine organization is highly regarded, never mind our attendance today. And organizations are being encouraged to boycott the state of Florida all over and let it be known that's the reason. We're trying to make a statement on behalf of us who look like us.
Right.
And it's not irrelevant. At a moment you might have thought it was. I think it's highly relevant to have that in the mix of our decision. I rest my case.
We can do that, and we can not say Atlanta, Georgia, I mean, excuse me, or Brunswick, Georgia, for that sense. You know, I look here in the history, we've gone to Chicago before. I can say we shouldn't go to Chicago for the same reasons that aren't brought up. But we can look at other locations. So on here we have Virginia Beach and we have Florida. And so what do we feel about Virginia Beach?
Virginia Beach was suggested. Did we have people in the area? I can't remember.
No, we don't.
Why Virginia Beach was.
So who would be the host?
Suggested is to always try to have it to someplace where there's no family is located. It makes it very difficult if you have to find a committee to keep making trips back and forth, and you do have to go and make personal appearances in these places. And if you have nobody there who's, or if you have people who are not willing to take on the challenge, it makes it extremely difficult. I don't know how Virginia Beach was, I don't know who suggested it, or how that
I don't remember who said, I just know that Virginia Beach has been on there a couple of times, and I think the discussion had been that we didn't think that you necessarily needed to have someone in the area because of, you know, technology and all that kind of stuff. You could do everything basically electronically. I remember that being our discussion from that. So
We did that for Memphis, because nobody but we handled it.
Yeah, it was nice.
And we've done that in some other places as well.
that was a discussion that we could do that.
But the pieces that were suggested by, now those, I think we need to look beyond what were in the minutes, simply because what happened with that was that the committee was going to look at those places and make a determination. So now that the committee has not done their job and or reported back regarding what they need to do, it becomes important for us to look at from a whole new perspective in terms of how we need to proceed.
So do we have other suggestions? We got.
I'm open to Chicago. I'm leaving it open to Chicago.
I ain't got a problem with Chicago either. But look,
And we will be, I think we can find some fairly reasonable locations that will not cause people to break their banks.
I don't get outside Florida, airfare.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Everything is built for tourists. That's what you said.
Turn around.
The problem about Florida is it's international influx from outside of the United States.
Yeah.
So these laws they got to be 26 states. So I don't know. I kind of agree with the idea of
Stand your ground is not Illinois.
yeah, you know, but against Florida, but it's not gonna make a big impact on it. But everybody, I got Chicago's on the table. I got another place. What about Myrtle Beach, South Carolina?
I mean, we could do Myrtle Beach because well, that is my home state, so I'm biased, but Myrtle Beach is my home state, so I am a little biased. I mean, my hometown is, yeah.
Is that high cost there?
In the summertime,
Myrtle Beach is really only at its highest between, I mean, granted, it's the summertime, it's their tourist season, so everything's a little bit higher, but their prices are really at the highest from May to before the family reunion, by the middle of July. That's when most of the tourist rush happens. Then after that, it kind of dies off until Labor Day. And the thing about it is that only the hotels on the Strip are really sky high. you back off 2 blocks, you know, you're paying just about average rate of any hotel.
They still have Atlantic Beach. You know,
Atlantic Beach, North Myrtle Beach.
That was the color beach.
It's still in
Yeah, it's still there.
When I was a child.
Okay,
Still there.
and let me say something about Atlantic Beach. Let me say something about Atlantic Beach. And you're all right. Sarah, I think when Kenya was a little younger, you know, had a cousin, so we decided to go to Myrtle Beach. He would never come to South Carolina unless he went to Myrtle Beach. So I went to show him where Atlantic Beach was. It still exists. It is, I'm not gonna say viable, but it's a municipality. Got a mayor. And you know what? It's kind of funny when you were a child, you don't realize time and space and distance. I remember going to Myrtle Beach in the segregated time. If we stand on Atlantic Beach, you see all whites on one side, all whites on the other side. We thought we were having a great time. When I went back, I didn't realize how small Atlantic Beach is. I was like shocked. But the fun thing about it, the road along the beach is still blocked off. There's no problem. And one great thing about it, you got only strip club in Atlanta, I mean in Myrtle Beach, that's how you get the tax off of the strip club called, I don't know. Anyway, but it bring in tax off of the strip club across Highway 17, but it's still there. And it ain't much change in 40 years, but it's still there. Yeah. And see, you don't know anything about Atlantic Beach, you would think I'm crazy. It's a black town, it's all black town.
I just say,
Can't go to that.
and this is my first time being on the board, I just say that we all, as a board member, to be included in everything that now with this, we all knew and what we were doing, but we didn't know a lot of things until we got here, and there was not a lot of things planned as I think that there should have been. So wherever we go and whatever we do, I think we really need to be planned so that people won't be out there on their own trying to figure out what they're going to do. I'm glad that we were in New Orleans, and I can do New Orleans, but I think that that things should be planned and so forth, so that people will want to come and do things while they are here. Like take today, for instance. We can go on a trolley or things like that, but if it was a tour or shopping, something like that, I don't mind helping with anything like that, whatever we do. But I really think that as we are new in this, and I am too, that we really need to be planning. I don't do well without a lesson plan, I'll tell you that right now. And that's the way that I think of things, and I think whatever we do, we look better when we know what we are doing. That's what I have to say.
Well, there was a
That's
bunch
the
of,
executive committee, Chandra. The executive committee should have had some meetings. The
And
whole
that's
executive
what I'm
committee
talking
should have had some contact during the year. That's everyone inclusive, plus the reunion planning committee. So I think, you know, on your note there, we might want to look at, I haven't seen our vision statement for a while. I think that's something, I know I'm digressing just a bit here. I think there should be some sort of vision statement, because we're hearing old, young, new, and so forth coming in now. We did have a vision statement before, and the visions are changing. Our society is changing.
Right.
And the needs of people are changing. So I think we as a family need to come up with, through the executive board or committee, a vision. What do we see for this organization as we move forward? And I see that definitely including our 20-some-year-olds coming, because we are going to be here a long time. And we're losing each other daily.
So we've got to have the younger people buying into what we have tried to build. What is this? Laine strength. We need to have the younger people. We've been bringing them from children on. It's time for them to take the reins and move forward. So my suggestion is that we maybe come up with a vision through our executive committee, including some of our young people, to see how we're going to move forward, come on and decide where we're going to meet for next year, whether it be South Carolina, wherever, and put that as one of our priorities for the year to come.
In light of what's being said about deciding where we're going to go for next year and the longer term, how we plan together, that accordion of archival material that I kind of put together, Roy, if you reach out to Lucius to get that accordion, because it has our bylaws, it has the work that has been done over the years, almost in every room. This, you know, and
it's documented.
It's kind of documented. So wherever we move to is building on the strengths of what we have already done. So, and that notion of refining one's ideas as you move forward, that's how people in business stay in business. Because if you still market into somebody who doesn't exist, your business ain't gonna last. That's just how it is. But I think that we have some building blocks there that can sustain us through the transition of where we will be moving next. So maybe the goal right now is to figure out where for next year.
I think I heard Lucius say, come to Chicago. Did I hear you say that?
Yeah, I was
Now, I think that we should consider that he's the only one in here who was said, which means to me that he's willing to work with whatever group there is. His position in the organization states that he's done very more than credible job. And I am in agreement with what Vi said. I think you should have it where some members of the organization reside. And so I am suggesting now that we curtail further discussion and consider Chicago with an up and down vote. Do we go to Chicago or not? Then we may move on. So presently, I'm moving that we use Chicago as the next site for the reunion.
I think was also suggested South Carolina.
Yeah, Myrtle Beach
and
Kansas.
But I am suggesting.
Okay, you're making a motion.
Okay, he's making a motion.
I move that we go to Chicago for the next reunion.
I'll second. And it's been seconded.
I second it. Brother second.
Any questions? Going once? Twice?
All in favor.
All in favor, raise your hands, please.
Chicago.
Motion carried with 20 votes for Chicago. Yeah, that's it.
Myrtle Beach came up. Would we like to do that one?
It did. Myrtle Beach did come up. Kenzie brought it up.
I really brought it up. I ain't said we got to go
So,
there.
I was just saying, we could consider that for the next.
Make a motion.
Well, I'd rather do North Carolina for the second
2015?
Yeah.
Do we have suggestions for 2015 family reunion? We can go ahead and knock this out of the park right now.
I suggest somewhere in the state of North Carolina.
Raleigh, Charlotte,
No, we don't. I think we need to be specific. Because if we say somewhere in South Carolina.
North Carolina, you got Charlotte, you got Greensboro, you got Greenville, you got Asheville, Outer Banks, Wilmington.
But do you have anybody from those areas?
Yeah, Raleigh, Durham is fine. I mean, I just suggest you broke it down. You all go back to Florida.
Excuse me. Are we voting on 2015 now?
2015.
We're discussing right now.
Yeah, we're discussing that one.
Make a suggestion. So we've had North Carolina. Okay, what other suggestions? We had North Carolina, what else?
Where in North Carolina?
Where, Kenzie?
Where Kenzie in North Carolina? Yeah.
Hey, North Carolina, the Raleigh, Durham area, we can start there.
So Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina.
Raleigh person says no.
They shot me now.
Myrtle Beach, somebody said Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach is, and was mentioned before, Myrtle Beach, not as many mountains.
Okay, so we got Myrtle Beach, South Carolina on the table. Anything else?
One of the questions I have, one of the things I want to speak, going back to Suzanne and our standards and how we do things. Who's going to be responsible for handling the planning in Myrtle Beach? Now, I don't know.
I mean, right now we're just taking suggestions on 2015. So, I mean, we're not saying Myrtle Beach is the de facto place. We haven't said any places. All we're taking right now is suggestions so that way we can actually take a vote to see where we're going to be at 2015.
I understand that.
But we can't establish who's going to do what until we actually get a place.
Well, before, I guess what I'm saying, Mr. President, is that if we sort of, in looking at where we're going, we need to simultaneously look at who's going to do the planning so that we can have an effective reunion. That's where I'm going with that. I'm not trying to be adversarial. I'm just trying to make sure that we have an effective reunion that works for everybody.
I understand that.
And one thing, usually when a place is nominated, is the person that makes a nomination. For example, I might have said St. Louis, Missouri. Then I'm responsible because I'm making that nomination to get it together to do it in St. Louis. And so whoever said Myrtle Beach, are you willing to do that?
When we get a place where you don't have to.
I can work it.
For example, when we did Memphis and we had no one there, I took that on and worked with BB in trying to make that happen. So that's what I mean. It's one thing to talk a deal. It's another thing to do the work. And it is.
Can be done.
Or we can just stand to just.
That's what I would recommend. So I would recommend that we just deal with Chicago, since that's the one thing that we know is certain about how it will be carried out, and then we talk about the next venue. Next issue.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Moving that we table
She just made a motion.
I second that motion.
Okay. Okay, motion to table discussion on 2015 has been moved and seconded. Any questions? Any questions? Last time. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposers? There being none? So carried.
Let me make a suggestion, if I may. Chandra, my niece, made a suggestion or observation. In many organizations, the board of directors or a particular board makes this decision. I don't think it's ever open for the entire NAACP membership to decide what the next meeting will be. I'm saying this because if we do things in order, there is more respect in, in that system. That's for the future now. We have time to make that decision if we decide to do so. Have the board, and that board can handle those areas and get that responsible person or persons before the decision is made. It avoids this, what I call, what I have observed, the erratic throwing a name in here and there. And many times the one who throws the name in has no knowledge other than that's an attractive city or something like that. And the responsibility is not even considered, let alone taking on the responsibility. That's my reason for that suggestion. I think it would do much more for this organization. This is the board, and the board has certain responsibilities to do this and that. And that should include, I believe, the decision as to where this next meetings and reunion meetings will be, and responsible persons accordingly, with just the name Myrtle Beach or any other place, or even North Carolina, but not North Carolina Beach, not this year. Okay. Okay, that's my suggestion. I could put it in the form of a motion if you would. Whatever body, a board or whatever. Well, that's what I'm saying, the board.
Yes, it's just that we can make that decision. Since the decision to discuss Myrtle Beach, etc., has been tabled, I think we can move on and make that decision next year, because we still have a year to plan. And I am suggesting, I don't think it needs to be a motion, that we move on since it has been tabled, and we consider mentally Frank's suggestion.
All right, do we have any other issues, topics to bring at hand before I tend to close? Oh, I'm sorry.
I am not with that man in court.
He's already drawn his heel, because now he's
Do we have any other issues, topics, comments, or concerns that we need to bring forward before I tend to close?
No, there's old business and there's new business. We're still on old business.
That was new business.
How do we miss old business?
We didn't really have any. Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask a question?
Hello. Sorry, hand back here first.
Oh, I thought we was getting ready to close. I was just going to say, since we realize that our attendance is low and it has been getting lower, that before we leave or as we leave, that all of us make a commitment that we will contact, and I know we've done this in the past previously, it hasn't worked, it fizzles down, but if we would renew our commitment to contact at least 5 to 10 members, we know who is and is not present, and that we do that consistently throughout the course of the year. We start as soon as we get back, we say we missed you at the reunion, and then we do it again periodically 3 months from now, and we just get them ready. And I think if we just take 5 people and we hone in and we contact them religiously, I think we'll see our attendance grow, and then we just keep encouraging each other. But we have to make a commitment, as has already been stated, but it takes each one, and if each one person does that, it will grow and it will continue to strengthen, I think, the
line with that, and you know, the complexities of getting newsletters out now, trust me, I do understand the challenges. But if we could get our newsletter or get out something that says, you know, to everybody, maybe from the president, we missed you this year, come on back, or something like that, just to keep that, the link. Here we are talking about the link. So let us not drop one of the threads because it challenges the link. So if we could get a newsletter out, that would encourage that. And we don't have to be 40 here, but just something.
I just want to speak to the newsletter. So I am responsible for the newsletter. I did send out a mailing to everyone to announce this reunion. I also said in that newsletter, or in an announcement, that I wanted to find out from the body, do you have any problems receiving information electronic? We're in 2013. I set up an email address just for the family. I heard from no one. I would love to hear from you because please read it because I sent it out. It's March 29th, 2013. And I wanted to hear back because I think it's economically feasible for us to use electronic media for newsletters. I also wanted to get content. I said the same information. Please send me. You don't want to hear from me. I want to hear from you. We have a lot of talented people in here. And young people, people who have wisdom beyond my understanding that I think we can put in a newsletter that's meaningful. I'd really like to hear from you if that's something that everybody's open to receive your newsletter electronically. I think your budget will certainly support that. That makes sense. But if that doesn't make sense, I need to know those people who don't. So the newsletter's not out for a reason. I am very willing to send it out. I'm very anxious to send it out, but I am interested in having content that's meaningful for the body.
But and also with that, you have to get information to put in.
Absolutely.
So
That's exactly right.
Information to you so
Yes.
that it can be and actually put in.
Absolutely.
We do have, there is a,
Facebook
on
group.
Facebook, there's the Laine group.
Yes.
Okay, and I thought you might want to check with Boris because he was trying to set up a Twitter page for us, yes, but those things are out there, but people need to know about it.
Yeah.
And did TJ set up, didn't we have a website?
Website, I don't know if that's still functioning or not. Check
Okay,
with
so
TJ.
we had one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had one,
that TJ had set up.
Okay.
So we did have that. And the newsletter, and clearly, trust me, I know, because trying to get people to give you stuff to put in it. But the follow-up of this reunion is the information about the reunion. This is the input. So that something that follows this up would be a helpful link.
Yeah.
You know.
And what you might need to do, what might be helpful for you, is to maybe get, while you've got this captive audience, is to get all the information you need from all of us, maybe in some format, whatever format's convenient for you, and then we can give it to you, and then that way you can, you can see what you need to do.
Right, and that first thing we usually would get the president's report, or we would put something about, we would do some kind of survey or something, so that this information. Yes, yes.
And Barbara, we're now talking, because I have the basic directory, and the last mailing, the last mailing went out, was my return address was on it, and I must have received of that mailing about 25 undeliverable addresses. So I just put those in so that, that's 25 postages that we spent and we could save. But I will send you an updated copy, which I try to do. But it's time for a new directory. It is time for a new directory, absolutely.
Right, we
So,
got to do that, so that's enough.
yeah, correcting all information for the directory. Okay. Good. Okay.
Yes, sir.
How about email address?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the.
That's what she.
Ask people whether or not they want to be on the list, and as you get the information, just send it out here until they get used to it. And if they get used to receiving, they may start sending.
Yeah, do not put anybody in your family's email address into your spam folder because that will defeat the purpose. So if she's sending out a big email, because it's got so many email addresses on it, it may automatically jump to your junk or spam folder. So when she sends it out, if you're kind of wondering if it has anything, go in there, take a look at it, just in case, because it's probably sitting there.
Just for your benefit, just to close that out, the website is the Laine, FNO, Family National Organization, FNO@gmail.com.
Say that again.
It's DE, capital L, AINE, FNO, that's capital FNO, @gmail.com.
That's the email address.
Yeah.
And there's the email address.
Oh, that's the email information, okay.
Right, I'll
Which
send
is
it.
different from the website. Okay.
Right.
My niece asked me and says, what is the itinerary? I says, well, I don't know, we'll get it when we come, you know, to the meeting here. So is there something can be done before, on Facebook or whatever? You'll know because, you know, she says, well, we should have an itinerary before we get here. Yeah.
No, I was about to answer that question. The itinerary pretty much is the same every year.
There's a change, right?
It's the meeting on Saturday morning, and then the banquet and registration. The thing that does change if there is a tour, which we have to let people know in advance. For example, last year we had a tour bus that took us through DC, but you had to pay for that in advance, and that will come out with your reunion packet. The fashion show is a tradition, so do that in.
Meet and greet on Friday's tradition.
And Friday evening in games is usually tradition, but you know, that's not set in stone. That's what we're talking about. What would we like to see? Are the 20-year-olds tired of playing games on Friday night? Would they rather go to a golf course on Saturday morning? You know, what do young people want to do?
Is that what you like to do, Larry?
I don't golf. That ain't my cup of tea. That ain't my brand cognac. I don't golf. If you want to go catch 36, by all means, go for it. I will be there with you. I'll be at 19 hole.
Let me ask a question.
Yes, sir.
Someone mentioned the website that we had some time ago. How operational is that now?
I have no idea.
Last time I saw it, I think, last time I saw the website, it had information regarding the Savannah reunion, or was it the, it hadn't been touched in a long time because I think I was talking to TJ a few years back, and now I was talking to his daughters because I keep in touch with them on Facebook, and they said that, you know, he tried to reach out to get so much information, but as much as he put out, he was getting so little back, so it just kind of, you know, faded off and to the wayside. And I honestly believe that we don't, as nice as a website will look, we really don't need one because of the fact that we do have Facebook. It allows us to have a pseudo website. We can post all the information, have everything. We can restrict it to just family, invitation only, and we can put just as much information out there, and we don't have to pay for it.
And it's free.
Yeah, last time I checked, we like fruit. Especially church loves fruit. Cost conscientious, how about that? Yes, ma'am.
I would just like to say, I love my family. And I would just like to say that, talking about all the things and where we fell apart and we didn't have this, we didn't do that. So we know what we need to do and move on, and we will move on from there. You know what I'm saying? So we can try to keep cohesive if we could. Thank you,
Anything else before I tend to close? Going once, twice, thrice. Okay, we're going to have our Vice President give us a closing prayer, and everybody be on their merry way.
Well, yes, ma'am.
Please, from Daphne to give us exactly what we're doing forward. I know it's in the book.
You know, what's the schedule for this
Just the
evening?
schedule for this
We'll talk
evening.
about that, what's the,
And,
what are the, what we're gonna do, I think we're about ready to close.
Okay. Okay. Okay, for this afternoon, after the meeting stuff, it's on your own. It's what I suggested in the news, in the actual booklet was, what you can do is get on the streetcar. It'll take you all the way down to in the Canal Street if you want. You can get off anywhere along there. You can go down Bourbon Street if you want. There's at the end of there, there's the aquarium. There's another streetcar line there that you can get on that takes you down to the French Market, up in that area and everything. And there's Jackson Square, where you can go up in there where the cathedral is. You can get on the streetcar and get off and get on the St. Charles streetcar, and it'll take you to the World War II Museum, up in that area, up in there. And dinner tonight is at 7 o'clock in this same room. This room here, and then we will have breakfast in the morning at 7 o'clock, at 7:30 to 9 in the same room also.
Full breakfast. And remind me what the streetcar, how much?
Oh, the streetcar, I think it's $1.25, $1.25 to ride, and if you're gonna get off and on more than 2 times, it's $3 for one day, and I would suggest, get the $3 pass, because if you wanna ride, along the riverfront, and you have to river walk up there at the end of it up there also. And then the casino's at the end. I got you, boss.
Basically, go down Porter Street.
Yeah.
Right down the street.
Right.
All roads lead to.
But for those who cannot walk, you can get on the streetcar, and the streetcar stops at the end right at Harris. Right across the
Or
street.
get a bunch of you go and grab a cab. I don't know what a cab costs, but anyway, probably ain't that much because it ain't that far.
And if we have any big winners at the casino, please think of the favor.
But in any awards or
Oh, that's right.
recognitions, right.
Before we leave here, give me any recognitions for tonight, that you might have. Write them on a piece of paper or something, since I seem to be still in charge of that.
And those who are gonna be at the talent show and fashion show, you need to see Minnie Jemison. Oh, yeah.
Oh, CDs, we get a rough count, how many people would like a CD? We kind of looked at it and looked at the cost of purchasing and trying to record them back tomorrow morning, not tonight, we can get them. We'll, at $10 each, so we will be able to do it for 10. I'm sorry, did they say $5? I called and asked.
Was that a Republican?
That was sequestered.
The CDs for, I gotta buy multiple, a pack of them. And, it's gonna cost about $10 to $12 for the DVDs. And these will be the DVDs that should hopefully eventually replace. So try for $5. With $5 if we can do it, okay?
And if you want to donate more, you can, but let's
start that.
Okay. And then one other thing that I forgot to mention, if you want to take a tour, you can. There's a hop off bus. It stops right in front of the hotel. All you need to do is check with the concierge down there, and they'll tell you,
One of the things about being here and why we didn't do anything organized is because there's so much to do. There's one thing about New Orleans, you can do just about anything you want to, and most of it's legal. It's one of the most unique places that you will have ever been. I mean, there are lots and lots of things to do, so it's just kind of hard to determine, okay, well, let's do one. No, because you got so many people, like I said, because some of you who mentioned the casino, I was like, really? I was surprised. That was something I mean, and having a streetcar makes it very easy. It's $3 is very affordable to ride all day. I mean, you get in, you get off, and you can kind of do you and whatever it is that you like to do, and you're not stuck on a tour bus thinking, well, I would have liked to have spent more time here, where you can do that when you're going on your own. So there is, like I said, this city, there's lots of things to do. This city never sleeps. You can do whatever it is, and most of it is legal. But if somebody's phone, y'all need to give your phone number in case I need to come get somebody. Of course, you know, I think if to bar people out, you got to have a job. I'm not working, so I'm probably thinking none of you out. But do take advantage. It is going to be a hot day. I mean, it's hot, humid. If you're going to be out a lot, you know, make sure you get water, keep yourself hydrated, all that kind of stuff, because it is hot and humid here. But I mean, you got a lot of time here. You can really get out and enjoy the city, because there really is a lot of things to see and do. Okay, anybody else? Anything else?
Yeah, give me a count for those $5 DVDs.
After I adjourn.
Price just went back down.
What's going to be on the DVD? I'm sorry.
It's
Family.
the movie. Oh, you didn't
Movies
see
over
the
the
movie.
years.
There's a movie, but over the years for the reunions.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got about 15 showing. Okay, you want multiple?
And I.
What you think?
What do you think?
What if you want to do? Then you say $5.
Some of us had multiple.
Multiple.
And I had 3.
You want 3, okay. Anybody else want multiples?
2.
2. 2. 2. Okay. All right. So we'll have enough, and at $5, and you want to donate, because I understand you'll put this for good use, scholarship funds, because
We might have to use it to get out of the holes.
yeah, right, this year, we may need to do that.
Okay, all right. So you all go out, have a safe time. We'll see you back here at 7 o'clock. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
I do have one other thing to say. They are going to bring some cookies and stuff in here at 11 o'clock. So
there will be some snacks.
Snacks, yeah.
Session start.
May the spirit of togetherness be ignited. May the torch of influence from ancestors pervade the realm of expectations. May love, trust, honesty, and respect control our lives and generate concern, cohesion, and positive actions.
Now and always.
The past, present, and future are one. May we be reminded of our duty to family, self, and mankind. Our motto, family strength through family unity, dictates our cause and stability. Now and always. Meaning and significance of the Laine Shield. On the front cover, it's actually got a picture of it. And if you notice, at the top left, we have carpentry tools because our ancestors were carpenters themselves. The lamb's head is significant of the French origin of the Laine name, signifying sheep's wool. The two hands joining in unity represents our family unity as well as our link to our ancestral lands of North Africa across the ocean. May the torch of influence, we wish to begin the ceremonies and ask permission of the eldest among us whose wisdom and longevity command our utmost respect. Can we locate and make known the name of the eldest of the clan?
I have located the eldest, who is Ms. Rosia Butler. I present this gift as a token of our love and appreciation. Extend our thanks for your attendance.
Mrs. Butler, being the eldest in attendance, as is the custom, we ask for your permission to begin. May we begin the reunion celebration.
You may begin.
We have been given permission to begin.
With pride, compassion, reflection, and introspection, we begin the ceremony and look forward to the success of this evening and the efforts of the Laines of February.
First, let us pay memorial homage to the Laines who have departed this life and gone to their eternal reward. We will recall the names of those who have most recently departed since the last gathering. Let us pay our respect.
Since our last gathering, the following family members have departed from earthly existence. Ben W. Laine, Alabama. Mary B. Laine, Alabama. May their souls rest in peace.
Who is the youngest among us?
The youngest among us is Rich, the son of Rory Walker. We appreciate your presence, which reminds us that you are our future. May you, dear child, benefit from those who have gone before you and those present here. May your steps always be positive on your paths in life. I present this gift as a token of our love.
Thank you.
What then is our destiny?
We are all worthy and responsible.
We accept the challenge of dignity and concern to help each other and mankind for all times. To our family, we pledge togetherness.
May bountiful blessings and the spirit of family permeate all of our endeavors. Let us proceed.
Have a seat, please. Okay, my name is Kenzie Laine. I'm from Hartsville, South Carolina. I'm currently living in New Orleans. And I'd like to welcome everyone on behalf of the Lieutenant Committee. And I want to extend a warm welcome to the 33rd Laine family reunion and to the city of New Orleans. As we fellowship tonight, let's keep in mind our family members who could not be with us tonight. And let's enjoy each other, friendship and love. Okay, tonight's program, we're going to follow as outlined in the program. We have the invocation, dinner served, probably halfway through the dinner, we probably introduce the speaker, and acknowledgement and the closing remarks. So we'd like to have invocation by Mr. Warren Laine, please.
For the invocation, let us all stand, please. I Heavenly Father, we thank you for, again, allowing us to come and assemble ourselves together as a family. We pray your blessings upon this family. Bless us and keep us in your care. Bless us as we finish and as we head back to our various destinations. Keep your arms of protection around us that we will arrive safely. These blessings we ask in the name of Jesus. Amen. Amen.
Thank you. So I got one question. Since I'm the master of ceremony, I mean I got control over how this thing gonna be run or what? Almost. I'm just gonna take a vote. Do you vote for me? All right. Okay. I just want to know now. Is this time for dinner here? Okay. So what I like to recommend is that the family member who need assistance go first, then children, then we'll start from the back of the room and work forward. Is that okay? You got it. Diaz first. Is that okay? All right. Okay. So that's fine with me. Kendra. You got any music?
But I know the name. Back in my secondary years, I had an uncle station there, and I was there a couple of times. I was there you all did a moonwalk. Oh, okay. But I know you did it all for sure. It well, maybe, but I think you had both. I think it did. What I remember about it so was mostly golf courses. There's been a lot of executives or higher rank guys.
That's a great you know, it takes a good eye,
Our speaker for tonight is Dr. Tina Laine Hayden. I have to know this young lady quite well. She is the daughter of J.W. and Dorothy Laine. She's the wife of Andre Brick Hayden. She's the mother of Adrian, AJ, and Jeremy. And she is very proud of her Delane heritage. She's a staunch Delane. You know, my husband said that most Delane women are bossy. Like the one thing, and my daughter too is true with Adelaide. When she was little, she wore a red wagon one time when she was about 5 years old. And the man called her up and was presenting her with a wagon. So he said, what's your name? She said, Tina Laine, what you think? And we lived on a farm. We had 6 children. And our grandfather, Mr. Henry C. Laine, used to have to raise butter beans and a lot of things in the garden. And so, there were 2 girls, we had some teenage girls. One was named Brenda, other one was named Loretta. And so, they'd be trying to hide and not pick beans. And so Granny would tell Tina, because she knew she was going to tell her. Tina, go tell them to come pick the beans. Go call, yo well, butter beans. Brother said, hush it on, sit on me. Yo well, butter beans. She would never hush until they got out and come out of there. So, that's enough for that. She gonna get it. After graduating from high school, she attended North Carolina State University and Cameron University, received an educational doctorate from Tennessee State University. She has worked at several colleges and universities. Currently, she spends her time as a football coach's wife, with many baby duties. She helps serve and do luncheon and all kinds of things that's involved with being a coach's wife. She learned to talk at 10 months old, and she likes to talk and meet people. I told her she never hushed since she learned to talk. Well, she got a little son that likes to talk as much as she used to. So Coach called me one time and said, Mom, I want to apologize. She said, if I talked as much as Jeremy does, I'm sorry. So tonight it is my privilege to introduce one of my favorite daughters, Miss Tina Laine Haven.
Thank you, Mama. Of course, you know, if you know anything about the Laine, sometimes they exaggerate. I don't remember any of that. But don't ask any of my brothers and sisters. They'll give you some stories they'll add on to what my mama said, but you can't believe them either. Because they are the Laines. And the J.W. Laine, sometimes they like to exaggerate, but I'm going to say that again. Thank y'all so much for having me, for allowing me to spend this time with you to say something hopefully meaningful. As Mama said, I am a proud Laine woman, no doubt about it. Our theme, connecting the family Laine, and it really goes hand in hand with our motto, family strength through family unity. And as we talk about, you know, with a chain, as they'll say, you're only as strong or as weak as that link. So what we have to do is stay together and try to provide that strength and to be that link. A link is defined as a single ring or division of a chain. And we are, as I said, a link in that chain. Together we form the chain that binds us and makes us strong. And so what I've done is, I kept thinking about the word link. And so I developed kind of an acronym for link. So for L, we have legacy. Each of us should work to create a legacy. Legacy is defined as something transmitted from an ancestor or predecessor or from the past. We are all a part of a legacy. That can be both good and bad, whatever our legacy is. And sometimes legacy is transmitted both willingly and unwillingly, because you never know what you transferred to someone. There are good things that people pick up from you, and there are bad things. And you'll never know who's watching you and what they're learning from you. Mama talked about granddaddy. That's my dad's dad. Well, no, my sister's dad is daddy, because those of you who were in the business meeting this morning, he said that he's not my daddy. So that's Stephanie who's back there. That's my dad. So Stephanie's daddy's dad was a man who he was a farmer, and Dad always talks about how he liked to hold his money. Now, at all of the Lanes I know, they like to hold their money. They're real tight with it. That's what I mean by holding their money. All of them I know. Now, y'all might know some that don't, but all the ones I know, tight with a dollar. And Daddy would always talk about Granddaddy being cheap or whatever, but Daddy likes to hold, Steph's daddy likes to hold his money. He is like that. Now, what he has passed on, every one of his children, if you go ask them if they have money, they got no money. They tight with their money too. First thing you do when you go in the store, which rack do you go to? The sale rack. Clearance. Exactly. Exactly. Now that's all a part of that legacy because we like to hold on to our dollar. We don't want to pay full price for nothing. I'm trying to save every penny that I can. And that is a part of that. That's something that we got. So in creating, we're going to continue to create legacy. Daddy, Steph's daddy, can you hold your hand up? Look at the size of my daddy's hands. Louis, that's my brother. Can you hold your hand up? AJ, hold your hand up. Now, that's 3 generations. What do you see? Large hands. Again, now that's passed on. That's a part of the legacy. Because when we talk about in the J.W. Lanes, look, good sized hands, big old feet. Now he passed that along. Now I guess that's some of that genetics and unwillingness. He did not willingly do that, but that's just what we got. We got some of that. We got all of that from him. Dad would always say, when I was growing up, he always said, if we're going to ever overcome as a people, we got to do 2 things: educate and populate. And I heard that forever and ever and ever. Gotta go to school, gotta go to school. Steph has 11 years and 179 days of perfect attendance through 12 years of school. Wow. I have the same number. So Daddy made us every day, you gotta go to school. Are you sick? No, you're not sick. He'd say, this house knows no sickness. You got to go. So after a while, you start going, and you just continue because you know that's an expectation. AJ and Jeremy go to school every day because that's all I know. That's all I know. Now, they don't have perfect attendance, but that's their daddy's fault. LSU, not because of bowl games, we've had to miss. Now, this year, our bowl game was December 31st, so they didn't miss after that. So this year, AJ and Jeremy had perfect attendance because that's all their mama knows, that's all they know. They're going to school every day. So Daddy's point in sending us to school every day, he said, was to train us so that we know how to go to work. Because school is your job, becomes your job. That way when you get a job, you know how to go to work. Now, Henry has worked for the same company, what, 33 years? 31. Okay, so Henry learned his lesson well. Henry goes to work all the time. All the time. He learned his lesson well. Because that's what we know. But that's a part of the legacy, the J.W. Laine legacy. My husband's father died when he was 20 years old. So I never met him. My boys don't know their grandfather's name was Harvey Haley. But my husband talks about his father so much that my boys will know their grandfather and be a part of his legacy. Harvey Haley had 25 kids. Everybody does that when I say they go, whoa. And my husband is the youngest of those 25, but Harvey had 3 wives. So my husband, his mother had 10 with him, then he had 2 other wives that had 8 and 7. So he's the youngest of 10 by his mother, of 25 by his father. Harvey's from Talladega, Alabama, so many y'all, you know. But one of the things Harvey always had lots of wisdom and things that he would say. But one of his things that I love, and my husband always says about him, and Harvey would say, don't get caught wishing short. Because he'd say, oh, Dad, I wish I had $1. And he's like, well, why are you wishing for $1? Don't get caught wishing short. You need to wish for the bank. You know, in other words, think big. Why stop at $1? If you're going to wish for something, wish for more than that. Think big. Don't stop at that. So he's got all kinds of things that he's always talking to them about their grandfather, who they will never meet, but they'll know all about him because of that, because Harvey has created that legacy there for them. And finally, in talking about a legacy, you know, I'm saying my husband is the defensive line coach at LSU, the best in the country, bar none. But one of the things he talks about, he always tells his players to do two things if they want to get along with him. Be where you're supposed to be, do what you're supposed to do, and you'll be fine. And so I end up spending, sometimes, you know, we have freshmen coming in, I have to talk to him because he is a tough guy. And they can't, that amount of pressure and expectations, some of them have difficulty meeting because people have never told them, you got to do what you're supposed to do, be what you're supposed to be, because they've been treated in such a way. And so I have to spend some time with them and talk about, look, you know, if you just do these things, he's a great guy. He'll give you the shirt off his back. He'll do anything for you. But you got to do your part. Be where you're supposed to be. Do what you're supposed to do. And you'll be fine. And for some of them, they get it. You know, when I say he's one of the best in the country, the last 2 years he's had, in the last 2 drafts, he's had a player drafted in the first round. Every year since he's been a coach, he's had somebody drafted in the NFL. Am I a proud wife? Yes, I am. So he is developing that legacy, and I know that because players call him, they come to him again over and over for advice, and he is developing that. My boys see that. They see the relationships that he has with people, the hard work. You want to talk about a hard job? Coaching is a hard job. Starting Players Report August the 4th. From August the 4th until December 22nd, he will have approximately 1 day off from his job. He works every day. He leaves my house at about 6 o'clock. In the morning, he gets home at about 10, 10:30. Our boys see him on Sunday morning. They don't see him again until Thursday evening, because when he goes to work, they're in bed. When he comes home, they're in bed. That is a hard job. But he does that because, one, he loves it. You gotta love it if you're gonna work like that. He loves it, but he's also trying to show them, if you want something, you gotta work for it, and you can get what you want if you work hard. Again, creating a part of that legacy for them. Now, and with the I in Laine is involvement. Involvement, doing something that is meaningful for you and for someone else. It's not always just about you. You got to get involved with other people. Call people and just see how they're doing. Check on them. You all right today? Oh, yeah, I'm good. I live, Baton Rouge, an hour from here, 14 hours from my mom and dad. I pretty much know what they do all the time. Because if I don't know where they are, somebody, one of my other brothers and sisters do. Somebody knows where they are and what they're doing. And they know we've raised them well about what they're supposed to do to let people know where they are. We had to work, we've had some bumps in the road with them, but they finally kind of got on our program. They were a little slow, but we got them. We got them raised well. They know what they're supposed to do, how to handle themselves, and they just kind of go along with the program. Now, Stephanie's dad is hard-headed. He don't listen all the time, but mine always does right. I would say in terms of involvement, give people advice when they ask for it. And when you ask for advice, how about you take it? Don't ask for people's advice and then you don't listen to it. If you ask, and this is me, if you ask for my advice, Mama said I like to talk. I'll give it to you. But take it. Listen to what people have to say. Offer advice. But don't you just try to, browbeat people and tell them what to do, but offer advice. Help people along the way. Get involved. Each of us has a God-given talent. Talking is probably one of mine. And I try to use that. But every person, I don't care who you are, you have a talent that is God-given. Use it. Get involved. Use it for the betterment of you and for the betterment of others. You'll feel good if you can grow and develop that talent. You'll do better. Go to stuff, activities, even if you, in terms of involvement, something you don't even like. But just go. You know, if I call Nick up and say, hey Nick, I'm gonna be in Huntsville. I'm doing da-da-da-da-da. Will you and Janet like to come? Sure. And they'd say, no, I hate the opera. But Tina called me and I'm coming because she invited me to come. And you know how good that's gonna make me feel? I'm gonna feel wonderful because they wanted to get involved because I asked them and they said, sure, we can do that. I don't like it, but I'm going. We all do things that we don't like. But think about, when you think about other people and how that makes them feel, the sacrifices that you make for them, it's a wonderful thing to get involved. So do that, get involved in something, your community. I know lots of you do volunteer work, different types. There's so many things out there that you can get involved in and make a difference somewhere for someone. N is for name. Kenzie started us off talking about how he went from Pete to Kenzie, now he's back to Pete. What's in the name? We talked about that. What, Laine, what does that stand for? What does that mean? There's so, I mean, for me, Daddy would always say, you are Laine first. When you step out of this house, you are representing me. So when they see you coming, they're going to see Laine first, Laine, then Tina. So you've got to understand that there's certain responsibilities that come with being a Laine. This is what you must do. This is how you must handle that. When you go out of here, you're representing me. And I want you acting a certain way when you step up out of here. Try to do that. Hope I did it okay most of the time. But you have to know that. My name is, one of the things that I would do when I was teaching a class, I would always, the first day you come in, you got to introduce yourself. So I do this thing with the kids. So I'd always tell them so they can remember my name. I'd start with this. I'd say, I'm Dr. Tina Laine Haley. I am Tina because my mother said my older sister's name is Stephanie. She got so sick of people messing up Stephanie that when she got to Tina, she needed something a little easier. It was not that hard. I tell them, I say, I got Laine from my daddy. I got Haley from my husband. I got doctor because I earned it. And this is who I am. And all of that means a lot to me. So when you have a name, you need to be proud of that. It should mean something to you. When your name comes in front or people see that, they look, oh, yeah, okay, I know them. We can do this because of who you are. Y'all know that. It's all about you call up, hey, this is Lucius Black Jr., blah, 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 blah. Things are gonna get done. I know so-and-so, things are gonna get done. I call Lucius, he's gonna call, yeah, I know that person. Because Lucius said it's that I'm okay, they're gonna say it's okay. But if Lucius had not developed that relationship based upon his name, then nothing gets done. That's not it. They don't really care. So you have to present yourself and carry yourself as a part of that. That name means something. It's the other thing, you know, have y'all ever noticed that Laine, it's not a common name. You don't hear it much. That's true. It's always misspelled. Always. Nobody can ever spell it. And that was going to be that's the very next thing I was coming to, and always mispronounced. People can't spell it and they cannot say it. And there's very few of us that have that. Makes us a unique group. Just based upon that Laine name, it's a uniqueness. And what Daddy always, and I think he got this from his dad, would say, you see somebody with that name, you know you're related. You're cousins. You're cousins. When we would go anywhere, Dad would get in the phone book, and one of the first things he'd do, and this was, you know, now you can't find a phone book in the hotel room, you know, because things have changed. But he'd always look to see if there's a Laine there, call him up and say, hey, I'm here. You know, I don't know you, but you know, my last name was Laine. So there's a uniqueness. We're a cohesive group. We're a smallness, but you know, it's not like Jones. You know, you look at the 9,000 Joneses, Smiths, Johnsons, Sanders, all of those. Not that. So we have a uniqueness about us. The name Laine means something. It stands for something. And then finally, my last word is kin or kinship. And that's what we're doing here. We are a family, developing our relationships, and taking care of each other. Looking out for your kinfolk. And that doesn't necessarily always have to mean that it's your blood relatives that you take care of, but as you get to know people and develop relationships with them, you you gotta take care of them. My mama she mentioned, my oldest son's name is Adrian. I'm not his mother, but I have raised him. And he's actually my husband's nephew. But he is a wonderful young man. His parents had some issues, so he came to live with us. We took care of him for a while and came back. He could have done anything else in the world except for that young man has graduated from Mississippi State University. Right now, he's in his second year of graduate school at Stephen F. Austin. He is graduating May 10th, 2014, and proud mama will be right there. He could have done anything, but we were able to provide some stability, some love, some guidance for him, and got him moving in the right direction so that he could have a better life. And Laines, that's what we do. We take care of each other and other people's children. That's just what we do. That's in us. That's all a part of who we are in being a Laine. Because I'm sure all of you have some stories about somebody in your family took somebody's child and helped take them along and move them forward. Because that's what we do. So our link, create a legacy. Continue to have involvement in your life and other people's life. Be proud of this name that we have. We have an opportunity, and not many people get this name. We are special with that. And then take care of your kinfolk. All the people here that you know, that you love, do that. So I want to say again, thank you all so much for allowing me this opportunity to spend some time with you. I look forward to seeing you all in Chicago next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina, for an inspirational speech. You know, Tina's our vice president. And that's true, you know, your legacy starts when you're young, when you're growing up. A lot of people realize that. You probably realize more when you get old. You realize you look back and say, hey, what have I done, what have I left for people? And get involved. That's the key thing. Get involved. Like your community. We concerned about a lot of things going in your neighborhood. But, you know, sometimes don't worry about a lot of national politics. Get involved with the local politics. Start at the grassroots. And get on some key things. Like your name, Laine. You know, people identify you by your family. You know how you go. You grew up back in the day and say, oh, are you so-and-so's son? You know, it's your family name first. And kinship, we always took care of people. That's one of my things I love to do. I love to talk to you always. So I don't have to beat the horse on that. That's true. I want to thank you for very good. Okay, we're going to move right along. We're going to have acknowledgement now by Ms. Laverne Murray.
Good evening, everybody. This is that good. And this is that time of the evening when we acknowledge all of the things that all of us as Laines have accomplished during the year. Sometimes I have to browbeat it out of you to get it. I mean, I'm running around. There's so much that we do that we sometimes kind of forget to get it to me. But let us start with, I think the most important thing we're going to start with is, would Mr. and Mrs. Warren Laine please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, family members, please give this couple a hand. They've just celebrated their 55th wedding anniversary. 55 years. Wonderful. Longevity, that's important. Okay, looking at our accomplishments. Wanda Laine Zambrana celebrated 25th the 25th year of operation of the Madame Wanda's Upper Room Studio, offering piano lessons and instruction for all ages. And Wanda, of course, is in Washington, D.C. Leslie Laine Westra. She's a dancer. You know, our family just has all kinds of talent. Leslie is a dancer, and she performed as the principal, you hear that? Dancer in Showboat. And in the opera, okay, it's in German, Die Freimann? Les Mas, okay. Okay. And was the lead dancer in the opera Nabucco, N-A-B-B-C-C-O. My pronunciation may be a little off, guys. And these were all performed at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. So, Maya is here. Maya, would you please come up? Maya is a Dean's Fellow, a first-year law student. Remember we were celebrating last year with her? She is a first-year law student at the David A. Clark School of Law in Washington, D.C. You could add these to all your other ones from the years. You're welcome, dear. Okay. All right. Letitia is not with us tonight, but Letitia has received her doctorate of pharmacy. Doctorate of pharmacy. That's one thing about this family. Letitia has received her doctorate of pharmacy at the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore. And Letitia is now living in San Antonio, Texas. Absolutely. Simone is here. Come up, Simone. Simone is our, she's a senior. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, Simone was inducted into the National Honor Society. Wonderful. What are you planning to do next? You're a senior, okay, good. So you'll have a busy senior year. Busy senior year. Carlton High.
Come on up here.
Where are you, Carlton? Come on. Carlton is one of athletes. Carlton's team this year plays second in state in the soccer tournament. Turn around so they can see. What position do you play? Say it again? You play offense. Okay, good for you. Have a note here. Gail Laine was married to Ollie Powell on July 6, 2013 in Cuba, Alabama. So we beginning of, what was that you said, Tina? We are procreating or building the family. There you go. Populate and educate. Okay. And, yeah. Layla Murray. Layla? Okay, Layla had the opportunity this spring to be one of the pages in the Fashionetta, or the AKA, and carried one of the scrolls. And Layla starts kindergarten this year in about 3 weeks. Now, did I omit anyone who gave me a little, I think I got it.
Dorsey Mitchell Butler.
Oh, you're right. I didn't turn the page. Thank you. See, that keeps me honest. Dorsey Mitchell Butler was appointed Director of Jazz Studies at California State University in Herndon, California. So we are just everywhere, infusing, passing on. Ladies and gentlemen, those are acknowledgments this year, and please keep those acknowledgments coming and doing all the great work that we do. Thank you.
Come back. Yes. Okay, Laverne, as a token of appreciation, I give this to you.
Thank you very much.
For all your help and for all that you give me all the information I needed and everything, so I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dorothy.
Bring it down.
Okay. This is a token of appreciation for agreeing to introduce Tina and for being at all 33 reunions over the years. And I did find out from Vi last night, she said she's been at like 32. Wow. 31. Okay. So, some of these people have been coming to these reunions all these years, and that's a long time. And my next gift is for Tina. Thanks for so graciously accepting the speech tonight. I appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody for coming and gathering for this, excuse me. Thanks everybody for coming to enjoy the celebration tonight with us. And then I'll let Tina do some closing words, and then Kenzie can also close. Yeah, he's going to close, but I'll let Tina do something. Okay.
I'd just like to say that I think we need to give Daphne a round of applause. She has done an outstanding job with this reunion. And Daphne, we've known Daphne for years and years and years. And somehow we feel that Daphne is our family member. We do not think any other way. So we are proud of you, Daphne, and thank you so much.
Thanks all you guys for your comments. We're at the closing remarks section. Before we get to the closing remark, I got to say something about, Daphne called me up about 2 days before the reunion and said something about Tina wanted me to be the master of ceremony. I don't want you guys, don't call me at the last minute. But one of my problems is Tina. And I said some words on the phone. Well, I got to think about it. I said, man. And I'm not a out front kind of person. I really like out fund you, support you. I don't want, I don't want to accolades. But the more I kept thinking about it, I said, man, I can't let Tina down. So when I first walked up tonight, she said, I understand that you got a little issue with being the MC. And I said, well, I had plans to do other stuff, but I'm here. And, but that's where we are. We gotta, get on our horse and ride it. So anyway, closing remarks. I think the president and a few other folks will make some closing remarks. President, please. Thank you.
First off, let's give a round of applause to, our speaker, our MC, our past presidents, Daphne, everybody who put this together, because it wouldn't be what it is without all these folks doing it here. Second of all, I think I might be the youngest president for the family organization in history. So I'm still kind of behind this learning curve thing. This is only my, what's this, 7th reunion as a Laine, well, coming as a Laine. And each time I try to come here to hope to meet somebody new, to build a new connection, build a new link. And I can also say that outside of, I know my mom's side of the family, I grew up with that. I knew I was a Laine. I knew the story of Reverend J. Laine because, believe it or not, that's one thing they do teach us in South Carolina is the whole separate equal case. But that's all I knew, really. I knew I could go to somewhere, and if I look at somebody that kind of looked like me, they're probably my cousin. If I went to something and they kind of looked like me, pretty good chance they were my cousin, but that's all I knew. But now I'm actually being able to put faces with who's the Laine, where's the Laine, so on and so forth. Last time I talked to ML, she said, you go down to Alabama, pick up a phone book, and you down in Cuba, find somebody named Laine, knock on the door and say, hey cousin, show me where the rest of my cousins at, and they'll show you. I hadn't done that yet, but.
You gotta go far.
Well, she said like 2-3 houses. But I'm happy I can be here, and I'm happy I'm able to, you know, go through where I've been all over the world, and I'm still able to come home to family. And so as we close out tonight, I may see some of y'all in the morning, I may not see some of y'all in the morning, but do know that, you know, my prayers are with each and every one of you, so that way you get back home safely, and that my prayers are with you that I see you next year.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. Anyone else in the audience would like to make a remark or statement? Oh, okay. It'll be full breakfast in the morning, starting at what time?
7:30.
7:30 to 9, okay.
There is a ticket in your.
The ticket's in your book, in your pamphlet. So, okay, also don't run off because following this banquet, we're gonna have the Lucy T. Laine fashion show, and Ms. Minnie Jameson gonna be our commentator. So don't rush off. Are we gonna have benediction? Or do they have it? Or we just close it out? I told you not to hire a bird.
You gotta start somewhere.
You gotta start somewhere. You got that right.
Everybody wants a rookie one.
That's right. Anyway, I guess in this program as of now, right? So what are we gonna do about the fashion show? He's gonna revamp the floor. Oh, you gonna start now? Oh, come on. You know, most I need some move chairs around and stuff like that. Come on up. We're not done yet. No, go ahead. I'm sorry, I gotta apologize. Let's take a bathroom break. So y'all want a little break? No? You can sneak out. You can sneak out. Come on, man. You want to drink? You got it. You got the floor. Yeah. Music? Yeah. That's Ken's job.
He's getting ready to get something going. Hi, family. How is everybody today? We have had a wonderful reunion thus far, and I am so proud of my family. Tina did a wonderful job. Y'all are looking good, and I know we're going to have a whole lot of models coming up here showing their stuff. I know everybody probably saw what everybody wore today, and I know we're talented. There are some of us who just can't do a lot but just talk a little bit. That's a telltale here and there and the other, but that's about the size of it. I was just thinking about this poor lady who heard somebody at the door, and she said, baby, go to the door and see who it is. And they get there, and the little child said, Mama can't come to the door, she's in there hitting the bottle.
she was trying to open some ketchup, get some ketchup out of her. You know, there is a difference between old folks and young folks when we see things just like these kids riding in this car. And there's a convertible in front of them. And all of a sudden, this lady stood up without any clothes on. So the kid said, Mama, Mama, look. He said, what's going on? She's not buckled in. She doesn't have her seatbelt on. There was this young girl driving down the road, and the police stopped her, and she was speeding. He said, I want your driver's license. And then she continued on after he took the license, gave her a ticket, and another policeman stopped her. And he said, may I have your driver's license? She said, I wish you'd make up your mind. I just gave it to the other guy a few minutes ago. Sometimes the policeman can't get it really together. But I saw this article that reminds me of what us grandparents are all about now. There's a difference between us old grandparents and the younger people today. This couple, old and mildewed like me, well, that's true. But they had a special thing for their phone. So when you would call them, the grandparents' answering machine would say, good morning, at present we are not at home, but please leave your message after you hear the beep. And then they say, beep. And if you're one of our children, dial 1. And then select the options, 1 to 5. If you need us to stay with your kids, press 2. If you want us to borrow the car, press 3. If you want us to wash your clothes, press 4. If you want the grandkids to sleep here tonight, press 5. If you want us to pick up the kids from school, press 6. If you want us to prepare a meal for Sunday to have it delivered to your home, press 7. If you want to come and eat here, press 8. If you need money, press 9. If you're going to invite us to dinner or take us to the theater, start talking, we're listening. Now, you know, you are all looking so wonderfully well today. I'd like to switch over and ask the people at different tables to kind of show us the stuff that they got, since nobody turned in a notice to say what they were modeling, what they were going to sing, what tales they were going to tell, or anything. So we want to do things we want to make a few changes. So we want to start with this table over here. We would like for the people at this table here to stand and kind of do a stroll around over and go back to your table, because you're all looking so well, but we want everybody to see how everybody is looking. So will you please stand at this table?
You too.
Y'all know you're
She changed it up. She wants you to go there. She wants you to go there.
There you go. That's Erica. And then she's looking gorgeous. Erica, she looks great. And Jenny and her husband looking so good. You know, once this lady was having her baby, and it was coming so fast she had to call the paramedics. The paramedics came, and as soon as the paramedics got there, the lights went off. So they got to try and deliver this child, the lights off. So what they did was have the lady's 4-year-old daughter hold the flashlight so they could see to help deliver this baby. So this little boy came, and then he is crying. They spanked him, and he's crying. And then the paramedic said, "Oh, this is a wonderful thing. We're going to ask this child what does she think of what she just saw." She said, "Well, my daddy had no business crawling up in there." Now we want another table. We want to do the table to the far right. Would you be kind enough to stand? I know all of you are looking good. I see Florida looking good. Stand. Give us a little taste of what we have. We are the ladies, and we know we can give styles. Tales. This lady was mad at her husband. He forgot the anniversary. So he was in big trouble. So she said, tomorrow morning, I expect to find a gift in the driveway that goes 0 to 206 seconds, and it better be there. So the next morning when she got up, there is a gift wrapped in the driveway. She brought it in and opened it up. It was a bathroom scale. Now there was one tale about, I must tell you about this tale about Southern, it's a law joke. In a courtroom, it was a trial going on, and there was this nice little old lady they called up to the stand. So the prosecutor said, "Ma'am, Miss Whitaker, do you know me?" She said, "Yeah, I know you. I've known you ever since you were a little old bitty child. And you've been a big disappointment to me, too. You cheat, you circulate paper, talk about them behind the back, and you're a big shot. You act like you're a big shot when you haven't the brains that you think you have, and you will never amount to anything. She said, yeah, I know you. So he said, do you know the defense attorney? She said, yeah, I know him. I've known him since he was a youngster too. He's lazy. He's bigoted. And he has a drinking problem. And he can't build a normal relationship with anyone. And his law practice is one of the worst in the entire state.
Oh, shucks.
So then the judge called them both up to the desk. He said, if either one of you ask this lady if she knows. If either one of you asks this lady if she knows who I am, I'll put you both in jail. Sorry about that. I couldn't. That one kind of tickles my funny bones. Now, the table in the center back here. Would you please stand?
Okay. Just keep at it.
Y'all are sharp as Dick was when Hattie died. This way. Let me things change a lot with us physically. And I figured that if God wanted me to touch my toes, He would have put them on my knees. You know, the one constant among all human beings, regardless of age, gender, religion, economic status, or ethnic background, is that deep down we all believe that we're all
above average drivers. We all think that. And when I'm out there trying to drive and people have the audacity to drive the speed limit in front of me, we have difficulties. If I am in a hurry, they have no business all driving the speed limit in front of me. And I have enjoyed my visit here in this wonderful city of New Orleans. You got everything. You have things in these stores that say things that they don't usually say in the stores where I come from. And I took my granddaughter in there, and I saw her over there. And I said, what's going on? What did you see? And then I looked. She saw the light. You have wonderful, funny things in the stores here. But you didn't have one of my favorite aristocratic stores that I like to go to when I'm in Chicago. You may not have seen one of them. They're called Dollar Trees. Dollar Trees. Now, we have the table over here. You're sitting so quiet. Not that table. That one right over there where you were pointing. Yeah, your table. Yeah, your table. Yes, ma'am. Thought I was going to leave you out. Well, you young folks kind of lead the way for the old folks. You have a lot of young folks there. And the youngsters are our next generation. We let the young ones lead the way. Don't they look good? They are looking good. There you go. Look at our proud mama there. Leading the way. Our next generation. You know, there are those of us who believe very strongly in our faith. And I'm a Methodist. And there was a friend who had a dog that passed. And he loved the dog. And he wanted that dog to have service in a church. And he went to the Baptist church and he said, could my dog have service in this Baptist church? And they said, no, we don't have dogs in our church. So, okay. So he went to the Catholic church. And they said, no, I'm sorry, we can't do services for dogs in our church. So he came to the Methodist church. You know, we pay claims. So he came to the Methodist church and he said, could we have our service for our dog in your church? He said, they said, no. He said, well, I was going to donate $1,000. He said, why didn't you say it was a Methodist dog? We have this table here. person. We know that when Jesus said to his disciples, I want you to take one of these rocks and bring them up. So the disciples brought the rocks up. Peter had a little bitty rock. Some of the other disciples had large rocks. So he said, I'm going to turn this rock into bread. So Peter had a little piece of bread. So the next time he said, I want you to bring up a rock. Peter couldn't pick his rock up out, he rolled it up to him. Jesus said, upon this rock, I will build my church. He said, you're going to make me some bread. Now, you know, our Father has, there are a lot of stories they tell on my Father. But anyway, he told somebody that he who is without sin, let him cast the first stone. And, you know, most of the people can't cast a stone because they got a few things in their background too, right? Okay, but he saw somebody back there. He said, oh, mother, please.
I gotta remember that one.
Now, Daphne is sitting along at the table here, and she has done such a remarkable job. I think it's fitting for her to have it on Give her another hand, please. Now, our people sitting on the podium, Tina did a wonderful job, her mother did a wonderful job. And I know they didn't get a chance to see you. Now, I know, Dorothy, I know you want to show that. Could you get the podium? I like to come around here. Let us see.
Here we go. Yeah. All right.
here who perhaps want to do a little singing, a little dancing, a little performing by ourselves? Tell a story about yourself or something? Do we have anyone who would like to do something special?
Don't you all think that Aunt Minnie Ruth needs to model as well?
Turn it up.
Black designer shoes, all strut auntie. She looks like Tina Turner.
Animal jokes are kind of but then, and I'm going to tell you one last joke. And it's about another animal. There was this monkey. He went to a party, and he was drinking, and he was unruly. And so they threw him out of the party because he was unruly. And he ran home and told his cousin. And his cousin Gorilla said, "Let me take you back to this party. And I will fix whoever it was that threw my cousin out of this party." So he went in and he saw the little lion, and he said, "Did you throw my cousin out the party?" He said, "No, I didn't throw him out." He said, "Who threw him out?" He looked up, here, this elephant again. He said, "He threw him out." He said, "You threw my cousin out?" He said, "Yeah, I threw him out." And he said, "And you go and don't come back no more." That's what Gorilla told his little cousin Monkey. I hope you have enjoyed some of the tales that I've tried to share with you. There are a bunch of animal tales, but I think I've told you enough of them for today. And I certainly hope you have enjoyed them.
Thank you again. Thank you again. Really, really good jokes. I'm gonna borrow a few of them too. Especially throwing that rock. All right. We have any one last chance for words from our family members. And I want to thank you again for, if no, you don't have any words, I want to thank you again for coming, and it's been a pleasure having all of you here in New Orleans. It's breakfast in the morning, but I'll get a chance to see you in the morning because I'm going to church. Believe it or not, I started going to church the last 3 years. Yeah, y'all go back to your roots, you know what I mean? And it's kind of an interesting church. It's a Catholic church, but it's more Baptist. Because when I went back, I went out of town for about 2 months. They had changed the priest. And I had a priest from Haiti. And couldn't understand what he was saying, but it came up about the Bibles. He overcharged or undercharged for the Bible. So I'm sitting in church, and we're like, You know, he might be a Catholic priest, but he still got Baptist ways. But anyway, so, anyway, have a safe trip home. I'll see you in the morning. I plan on coming, and I can make represent Mass. End of the take, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. We were able to do it. We have the DVDs ready. You can get them tonight. You have them down here tonight, or in the morning, and they are $5. Okay. Until they're gone.
Okay, thank you. So y'all got that in the morning for $5. Okay. But don't see you. I plan on coming in the morning, but don't see you. You're gonna have a safe trip home. Let's stay in touch, and we'll hope to see each other next year, and especially in the morning. Thank you.